Welcome everybody. It's 2:14 on the clock, Valentine's Day, the 2 of the High Priestess, the 14 of the Temperance card, which is all about that higher love. Patience and balance, flowing back and forth patiently, taking a step off the beaten path, one step at a time. And I have a Metatron read from yesterday and today, as well as a Twin Flame read and a message of the day. We're going to do the Metatron reads first because there were some important messages that came through there. Let's go ahead and take 3 deep breaths first. Sending lots of love and blessings out to all of you. Thank you for being with me. I so appreciate you guys. We're going to roll the die first. See what's coming up for the Twin Flames today on this 28th of December, 2021. Okay, so we have the number 10. Which is that Wheel of Fortune energy of high vibration as well, that high vibe trill. We have Scorpio here, which is the south node right now. And we also have Uranus, which is about sudden changes, and Aquarius. And the energies you might be dealing between Scorpio and Aquarius right now too, that's definitely energy that's coming up. And that high vibration of the 10, which for me is also Libra energy. And that's, of course, about balance of that flow back and forth that we were just talking about. So this first Metatron read from yesterday morning is this one here. And that was done yesterday on the 27th, which is the Ace of Wands. And the day added up to yesterday, the 44. Which is that mastery number of the 4 of Cups of not only boredom and apathy, but that boredom is there for a reason, in order for you to ground and integrate the energies that you've expanded into. So grounding, integrating, and mastering, especially the receiving of love. And the Ace of Wands, which is that inspiration, that kind of fire lit under your butt to get you going again and motivated. So this first Metatron read was done around 10:30. Yesterday morning. 10 is the Wheel of Fortune, 30 is the Union energy of the 4 of Wands. The bottom of the deck was the Family card, 49, which is the 9 of Cups, the Get Your Wish card, or emotional fulfillment from hanging out with your family, no matter what kind of family that is for you, who you resonate with. And beneath those cards was the color orange, which is all about stretching and releasing that stuck energy, and then creation as well, which has to do with Gaia and the flowering of the collective. The first card out was the Evolution card, which is the 40 of the Page of Cups, that innocent pure love and the evolution of us into that purity of love. And this is how the message went. We had the colors orange, lilac, yellow, which is the solar plexus, and then silver was also coming up again. Silver's a big one because it came up today again. So very much that energy of the feminine light, connecting to your higher self, and then the orange and yellow of the lower chakra system of the solar plexus and the sacral chakra, but not so much dealing with the root, but more of the creative energy and the confidence of shining your light, right? And not from an ego place, from a place of the higher energy, like pulling the energy up from the root through the sacral, the solar plexus, and then up into the green of the heart. But green didn't come up here today or yesterday in this read. And so I started evaluating this read at 12:12 yesterday, and that's the two hanged men hanging out together, perhaps seeing new perspectives, being very wise. The underlying energy of the Queen of Wands stretching to connect and attune in the collective awakening that's flowering and following, coming together with family for self-satisfaction in the circles of life, sunrise, sunset, as that Page of Cups birthing, or a child who needs babying or to be held, or that energy of being held on the castle in a cloud. And then my gnat showed up to say hello, unforgettable. So the Page of Cups was coming up as my gnat, sending me a pure message, a magic message, unforgettable. In the magic kingdom, the mother's ark and the father's steeple, or the bridge in the castle, bending and directing up, bending the love light and reflecting it back, the lilac, healing coming together here. And remembering to heal yourself, spend time to imagine that magnet above your head, pulling out everything that doesn't belong in your body, as well as the healing hands over your head, then healing you, allowing yourself healing from someone else, or that could be doing a healing online or a meditation. But come together for not just helping others, but helping yourself as well. At 12:21, it was coming up as, very significant to make sure you do some healing for yourself. So, and Chris Macklin does free healings 3 times a week. For those of you not familiar with him, it's Global Enlightenment Project is his YouTube channel, but Chris Macklin, it comes up as well. It's C-H-R-I-S, the way Chris is normally spelled, in Macklin's M-A-C-K-L-I-N. And then at 12:23, which is then the Hanging Man and the King of Wands, coming together, and that 43, which was the card here of the Three of Cups, to pause and heal and to receive. The Six of Cups of the two children loving each other and being totally innocent and authentic within yourself. Who are you today? Ask that every day. Birthing the new. Igniting a love for life with the Knight of Wands energy. Remember, just, that spark to get you motivated. Send energy to castles in the clouds. Stretch to release Gaia, like oxygen in and carbon dioxide out. Breathe in energy from the sun and other energies that are coming in as well, not just from our sun, and send back your residual to them, just like breathing in and out. Healing your head and your heart. The rose blossoming in the aqua gold mother's love, with relationships in harmony, receiving and giving from the heart at 12:28, which today is the 28th, and the 12 of the Hanging Man. The Kundalini of the wounded warrior, untapped energy, releasing from your experience, from the entry of the womb, right, the vaginal entry to the womb, and then the entry to the heart also. So it's coming as the mouth is the entry to the heart, and then the vaginal key is the entry to the womb. The child of the womb and the baby of the heart. Refreshing yourself every day. Answer the call and lead the way. With flame in hand, the wounded warriors dance. The crazy eights. To the yellow magic here, to pollinate joy and happiness. The busy bee, whistling while they work. At 12:33, which is in the Christ vibration of standing up for oneself without being triggered, the divine feminine healing and releasing, the divine masculine pollinating and leading. And something else that I was reminded of yesterday, which came up on Cryon, was that we've been expressing, about 30% of our DNA, and we're working towards 44 to 80%, from what I've understood, that the Pleiadians are operating at about an 80% of their DNA use. But in order to achieve a spontaneous healing, you just need a moment of 100% use of your DNA, which you can do at that very high vibration. So a reminder, and also a reminder that mercury and aluminum are toxic and can be used in different things that you may not be aware of. So you might want to think about things as you use them. Oh, it just reminded me I left the the pot on. Hold on just 1 second. I have to detach myself. See? Spirit reminding me to turn the heat off. Okay. just to keep the heat in. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. So anyway, a reminder to pay attention what you're using every day, and does it have things in it that you're ingesting, or just things in general that may not be good for you. So the Knight of Swords here, in a codependency being the key to your freedom. The roots, where roots came up as RO and OT yesterday, which are 2 and 8, which is the 28 of the twins, and the separation of the High Priestess and Divine Feminine, and the dance of strength and manifestation, but yet together the Divine Feminine dancing with the Divine Masculine, the twin flames, the number 28, and the reminding of the whole family what we all have in common, that when you're not well, who's the one who would hold you? No matter what, your mom, unless she's been programmed to conditions of love. Speak your truth no matter what. If someone can't accept your truth in love, they need to work on themselves. Don't take it personally. Blessings and thanks of good food and many choices, synchronicities and heaven in your eyes, and then walk away and within, retreat, rest, and pause to the void. Om is in 4 parts. A, O, M, and then silence. Om. And you notice that M always ends in Ma. Gain clarity with the shadow in meditation, with white light. Archangel Sandalphon is with you now on the Fool's Journey with music and cheer, with an open heart and a leap of faith, in energetic exchange in the arrows of love, with ancestors showing appreciation and healing to go forward. It's like the family lineage, not going to the past lineage, but joining with your family to go forward. Future ancestors coming in to bring you in new technology and healing techniques at 12:43, the Hanging Man and the 3 of Cups again of coming together. Detach from drama and look up as the King of Cups with unconditional love. See the sunrise and the sunset, but you must look up to do that. Peaches and pinks and golden white light of compassion as the cosmos mirrors you in a wake-up call. The 12 strands of DNA and the crystal faces of 6666, which is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, 11, 12 of 6, 15, 24, and 33, which are all 6s. They add up to 6. Those are the strands of your DNA sections. Intend your DNA towards 44 to 80%, and more for spontaneous healing if you want to hit 100% for spontaneous healing. You need to do some deep meditation for that. As the moon's becoming crystalline too, or the motherships in the clouds of Earth and Gaia and the moon. The silver warrior of light in nightly reset in union, or Excalibur ship or secret space program. Look up to see what you can see day and night. The King of Cups in a wake-up call at home, or making a decision or a call about a home or union at 12:55, the Hanging Man and the Ace of Swords, Excalibur, the Ace of Swords. So the underlying energy here was to stretch and release before meeting with the collective and the families, and then birthing the new child each day. Then release the untapped Kundalini upwards through the crown, and then the Knight of Swords to set you free. Unlock the codes of codependency. The Divine Feminine birthing, the Divine Masculine speaking. The Magic Kingdom to the inspired heart, leading in the dance or Thanksgiving every day with synchronicities, and receiving healing to open your heart, flowering to receive the pollination and retreat to the void with Om, coming together in the heart to help the Divine Masculine walk away and within, because remember, you're always connected at 107, the Magician and the Chariot of the 7. And remember, Om is the sound of the universe, and it's a reset for you. So then we have the second message of the day from this morning, which was very significant today. Today is the 28th of the Twin Flames, the 2 of Wands of a choice of a new path. The 45 that the day adds up to today is that 5 of Cups of perhaps a purge, or just feeling bored, or doing some work integrating what you've learned, putting the pieces together, thinking about what you really want for yourself. And it can be feeling sorry for yourself or avoiding as well. So be careful how you're looking at something, because you always want to make sure to face your fears. And also I was listening to Sam the Illusionist this morning, and his channeling said that we're officially completely in the fourth density at this point. And remember that density is different than dimension, because density is the weightiness, the heaviness of something, as opposed to dimension, which are the sides, the dimensions of length and width. Whereas the density is the weight of something, right? Because you can have something that's the same size, but one's much heavier than the other. So let's see here. I was also listening to an interview. It was a Lewis Howes interview, and he was I'm not sure what the background was of the guy he was interviewing, but they were talking about stuff I talk about too, but just the timing of how you do things in the morning, and not to drink caffeine right away, to wait like 90 minutes to 2 hours before you actually have caffeine. I'm pretty caffeine free except for chocolate. But I drink decaf in the morning. It's mostly milk with a little bit of decaf in it. But he was saying not to drink the caffeine for 90 minutes to 2 hours, and drink water first, and do that heavy breathing that I always talk about, where you breathe really, it's like hyperventilating. You breathe really strongly in your nose and out your mouth. And he was talking about doing it 25 times every morning, which not only oxygenates your body more fully like I talk about, but they were talking about it pumps up the adrenaline, which helps kind of motivate your day. And there's some other medical things they were talking about that was not something I'm familiar with. So, but you can listen to that video if you like. So just a reminder to breathe in the morning and drink water, perhaps before anything else, clean water. Oh, and the other thing was important to go outside and spend 10 minutes with your eyes, not about the sun touching your skin so much as your eyes. So make sure you get that sunlight in your eyes for 10 minutes. And he was talking about if it's not a sunny day, that you need to spend more like 30 minutes in the sun to actually get that boost of energy. It has to do with circadian rhythms too, and programming you for when you actually need energy, so that you don't feel sleepy after lunch and things like that. So it's very important, a different perspective, according to what your body gets used to every day, based on what you do in the morning when you get up. And it was talking about getting a good night's sleep as well. So let's see here. Something else that came up in Sam's is that the original name for Lucifer was Luhevre, Luhevre. You can watch his video about that. And he talked about spirit breathing as well, which is interesting because the way he described it was the same thing that Lewis Howes' interview was talking about, with the deep breath in your nose and like out your mouth. Like that. But you can watch Sam's video for the specifics on what he was talking about. So Metatron here was at 1058, which is the Wheel of Fortune and the 58 of the Four of Swords, the connection in the 5D. And the underlying energy from this read, the bottom of the deck was Karma, and the 28 of the Twins, untying the knots. And the cards beneath that were clarity of, again, meditating whenever you want to seek more information about the shadow that's coming up that needs to be cleared, and also authentic self and that inner sweet child. Remember, you're connected with your twin every day. So are you doing not only what's good for yourself, but your twin as well? And it's like being a mother, you're doing it for two. It's like being pregnant. The first card out was the Mother Earth, and I have been contemplating this card for a while, because this Mother Earth card, it has a big ice cube on a barren farm field, and it comes up with the number 18. So I was always kind of trying to figure out why the 18 is connected with this card, because I don't really resonate with it normally. I'm going to show you the card so that you understand what I'm talking about. I think I've showed you this card before, but yeah, here it is. So it's this card. There's just an ice cube on a farm field, but it's the number 18, and it's called Mother Earth. grounding and support. And again, this is Amanda Ellis's deck. And then there's another artist on her deck, but you can look that up if you like. Oh, there you go. There's the artist. Okay. I didn't think I had the book near me, but I did. Okay. So, but today they kind of gave me an answer as to why the 18 is being associated with that card anyway for today. So the first card out was that Mother Earth card with the ice cube on top and the number 18. So this is how it went. The colors were silver, indigo, pink, and lilac again. So we again have that very gentle energy of pink and lilac, which for me is very much about compassion. And then the indigo of the third eye and the silver as well. They're all like, you know, from the third eye and up energies of compassion and the feminine, very feminine energies. And also the elements in this read, we have air. I think that was the only one in this read. Yeah, for today, air came up. Was yesterday water? No, yesterday no elements came up. And today just air. So I started here at 11:09, which is the reflection basically of 9/11 with space between. To meditate for clarity of shadow, visualizing the white light streaming into your crown and all around. And who are you today? Authentic inner child. Remember, inner child is 2 with the 46, the masculine and the feminine, the innocent, loving inner children of both, the twin flames untying the knots of karma in the electromagnetic grid. Remember, EMG is the electromagnetic grid. It comes up as M's. The Pleiadians' feminine energy god is Imana, and although they spell it with an I, I've been guided to spell it with an E as Imana. EMG is EM or M's grid, Imana. It's EM, and they're both the rolling stone, which is the E that falls into the M that falls into the 3 that falls into the W. So E and M are both part of that. And then Imana is ANA after that for me, the rolling stone, and Anna. And Anna is 2 A's with an N in the middle, and the A's are human embodiment of source of the circle with a tail on it, which for me is connection. 2 humans with connection, and then the lowercase n for me is Jesus, with Jesus in between. Or Anna is a not applicable, or an A is for apple. And then I was getting, oh, Susanna, oh, won't you cry for me? For I come from Alabama with a banjo on my knee. And it was coming up first as, oh, Susanna, as the O is the human embodiment of source that I just talked about. Sue's Anna, or the twins with Jesus between them. And S-U-Z, Sue's, also means beneath or below, right? The human embodiment that's not dancing yet is coming up as beneath the twins with Jesus between them. But Sousa is also coming up as the tear, or to pass gas as well, which is really funny, which is a release, right? So tears are a release, just like food going through your body. You know, you poop and pee to release. It's the same thing with energy and light coming in. You cry to release. And so passing gas is part of that release, not only for food, but about emotional releases as well. Like you can yawn, that may be a release, and crying and burping can be a release as well, not just food, but an emotional release. So then the breakdown of that name that Sam came up with for Lucifer, that they told him that it was originally Luhevre, L-U-H-E-V-R-E, so I broke it down, because I was guided to do so at this point. And it came up as, well, first thing, L-U-H-E is 2 areas in China. So China is being associated with it. The district of Nanjing and Jiangsu, China, as well as the county of Sunway and Guangdong, China. but it came up as multiple different things depending on how you broke the word down. L-U-H-E is a word, and L-U-H is a word, and of course L-U is a word. So it's coming up as L-U-H-E-S is lightning, or a multitude of light. And then the evre, E-V-R-E, is stage or phase, and then V-R-E is something that's real. Where did I put it for the other definitions? So anyway, what came through for the definition for that word, L-U-H-E-V-R-E, for Lucifer, is multiplicity or fracturing of light or lightning, the tear or surprising text or wet meadow or riparian forest, stage or phase. And then the trumpet, that's a lie, right? So when we talk about the shadow side, it can be someone who tells 99% the truth, but it only takes one lie to throw you off, right? The trumpeter's lie, or mixed with oats, which means it's watered down, it's not pure. The wolf or the fox in sheep's clothing in a swinging motion. A route or a circuit, or in other words, life watered down. Less truth, less potency. So it's that same energy of, the devil only needs, they can tell 90% truth, and all he needs is that, 1 to 10% of lies to throw you off, because they get you to believe them with the 90%. So it's that kind of energy that's coming up. So then we have the first card out that I showed you at 1131, which is justice and truth, and the 31, which is that 5 of Wands card of expansion and conflict. And someone just dumped a bunch of leaves across the street. Truth and conflict. Expansion. It can be battles and fights, but it also can be playing and acting and having fun, playing sports in a nice way. And then we have the energy of the pursuit of happiness as well. It's interesting the pursuit of happiness came up because 7 pounds came up too. So Will is coming up. Will Smith is coming up. And that's interesting, right? Because Smith is the name that people use for a general name like Jones. So it's like the will of the average man. So the first card out being the ground support to Major Tom Tom was coming up. Mother Earth of 1, 2, 3, of Terra 4, 5, 6, and Gaia 7, 8, 9, and then 10, 11, 12 was coming up for the 6D as well, which is where we manifest automatically to. Remember that the 5D is really just a jump off point. Once you get to 5D, you're like free to go anywhere else. It's just you can't do that until you're in the 5D. The ice cube was coming up as the crystal cube, the 11 cubits of the Queen's chamber in the pyramids, the cues and bits and pieces, the puzzle pieces, as in you are all the moments of your life up into the now moment. A collection that builds upon itself. Each piece leads to the next. The cube confirming the number 4, the 4th density that Sam had said today, that we're fully in the 4th density as of today, with Terra support, or terrace without the seal. And then I was getting like terracing, the picture I just showed you of the farmland, of terracing the land in levels. Terrace support or terrace without the seal, leveling the playing field, the field of dreams. Build it and they will come. Faith in your knowing your messages at 1136, justice and the atlas energy of the weight of the world on your shoulders. And then the number 18 was coming up from the card. So why is 18 associated with this? Because 18 is usually the moon. And of course we do farming by the cycles of the moon, but I wasn't getting that energy. So of course 18 is the number that comes up between 17 and 19, but normally you'd write the number, you don't write it out. So I wrote it out this time. And so 18 is EIGH plus teen, right? Because there's only one T there. And EIGH is ice, which there's a big ice cube on the field. So I knew I was going in the right direction with this. So 18 translates as ice and teen. And of course, a teen is a teenager, but it has many other definitions as well. Teen means grief and sorrow, trouble, vexation, anger, and hate. To excite, provoke, afflict, injure, to become distressed, to close, to shut, to enclose or fence in. Against, the toe, twig or thin branch, the clove and the bundle of twigs, the oil from the palm, the fruit of the palm tree, excrement, feces, thaw, and melt all came up from teen. So the way it came up is that ice thaws and melts. Ice fences you in or shuts you down. It provokes and excites you just like a teenager. Your teenage years, you experience all these feelings. It causes anger and sorrow, distress and poop. Ice rod or bundle of twigs used to hit hands, to hit hands at school, and backs to torture with. The ice clove, and then the clove comes up as 7 pounds, 3.2 kilograms. And also clove can be spelled C-L-O-W-E, which for me would be like Chloe. So Chloe was coming up too. And the ice clove, which is 7 pounds, but it's also half a stone, as I'm just talking about the rolling stone and the masculine and the feminine, a narrow valley with steep sides to split. And then the clo of Chloe is duty or tariff, chlorine, lock, bolt, impediment, difficulty, break, cluster, bunch, or conclusion. The clove being the tariff of being we, the price that we pay for being a group. And that hearts weigh, of course they don't weigh 7 pounds, but they do weigh from 0.4 to 0.7 pounds, which is that sweet spot of 4 to 7. The ice block of 7 pounds in the cold, the body has to work harder to stay warm in the winter. If it acclimates or becomes stronger, by living in extreme circumstances. So they're saying this is why you go through your teenage years. It's to toughen you up as a teenager. And remember, the 18 is also the space between the 17 and 19. The 7 twigs are cloves, and the 7 by 7 is coming up as, because the 7 pounds is the clove, and we had twigs coming up here too, and then the 7 by 7 pounds is coming up, which is the 7 times 7 is 49, which is the Get Your Wish card, the 9 of Cups, but it's also the 7 and 7, which is the 77 of the sovereignty. The 9 of Cups and the 9 of Pentacles, the masculine and feminine in their sovereignty. The divine feminine within the masculine, fenced in, against all odds, grieves, angered, distressed, shut down, and then melts and poops out the rest. I clove, twig, or one clove, twig, or layer becomes many that you can endure. The chariot, the divine feminine within the masculine, ascending in 7 heartbeats, or in other words, in 6 degrees of separation, you being the 7th. 7 steps in the stairway to heaven on earth. Earth, remember, is the same word as heart. It's just a manipulation of the letters, where earth is the ear and the heart hears. The human heart hears through the earth at 12:10, which is the Hanging Man and the Wheel of Fortune. Atmosphere, as atmosphere. Atmosphere, the soul's sphere, the earth that humans hang out on. The cosmos then mirrors you. The ice pack, or again, 18, comes up as the ice pack, brings down the swelling down to the root. And then I was guided to put ice packs on my root because I haven't done that in a long time, and that's where my back injury was. So I did that at that point, and this was at 12:12, a lot of wisdom, hanging out, seeing new perspectives, and a wake-up call of 12 sides, faces, and planes, 12 strands of DNA, the 10, 11, 12 of the 6D, the crystal cubits and diamond light, the square and the circle of life, and the silver warrior of light, Excalibur, the moon, the 18, the ice pack, the ice, a catalyst to release anger, sorrow, and poo, as well as palm oil, Ice thaws and melts, or in other words, reduces the heat in the chariots of fire. Let's see if I got the other page first. Okay. So Excalibur comes up here at 12:18, so there's the 18 again of the moon. And Excalibur breaks down to Ex-Cali, which is a scary goddess, and the burr, again, of being cold. Ex-Cali, who's cold. The silver, remember, after all, as the feminine, is second place, still challenged to win the gold. The 18 of the moon only needs one more to be the sun, 19. 19 came up here at 12:21. 19 is the collective pack, because remember, teen is a pack. And 9 is the collective. The collective pack was then coming up as Crimson and Clover over and over by Tommy James and the Shandells. It came up Crimson and Clover because that was his favorite color and flower, and also called Crimson and Clover because his team, he grew up apparently in New Jersey, I'm trying to remember which town it was, but their team was Crimson, and they were playing the green team, which then he referred to as Clover. So there's competition coming up there. And Crimson is that deep bluish red, but it also means immodest, yet it means to blush, which is modesty at the same time. So it's, again, being both sides and then bringing them to the middle. And the clover is in the trifolium family of flowers with 3 to 4 leaves. There's that 7 again from the 3 to 4. And red or white flowers, which would then merge to pink, or good luck. So crimson is trying to become purple by being immodest and bluish or blush at the same time. And clover's red and white trying to be pink or compassion based in 3 to 4 green heartbeats, or 7 pounds, half of a stone, a rolling stone. And the over came up as ove and er, or to urgently hunt. He, here, water, humidity, that's urgent. And the ove, which is a sheep or ewe. The I, the sheep or ewe, in case, to lay eggs. So the sheep that you are, whereas to lay eggs. Number 1, number 2, or number 18 or 19, which is the magician and the high priestess, or the masculine and the feminine, the 18 and 19 of the moon and the sun, the feminine and the masculine, becoming one, to melt into each other instead of competing, equals 2 plus 1 is 3, and then 18 plus 19 is 37, becomes the abundant empress of AE, which is ash, and then the 18-19 equals 37, which is the king of cups of unconditional love, which is UL. And UL means ash as well. So they're both ash, or bright light, the divine feminine mother's abundance and the divine masculine's unconditional love. And remember, that's referencing to the 9 of Cups and the 9 of Pentacles, because the feminine's working on her ability to manifest and be abundant as far as time, money, and effort, and the masculine working on his emotions of the 9 of Cups, of mastering their emotions, or becoming sovereign in that respect anyway. So then we go back to the read at 12:48, which is the hanging man and the 2 of Cups, where the indigo comes up, of being whole and complete, on your knees, but not begging, but as a child would be on their knees, in the mystery and mastery of life, all at the same time. The pink of the womb, of the life bulb, the compassion of the hollow pink shell, and the light bulb of the third eye in the pineal. The life bulb of the womb of creation connected directly to the heart, and thus the third eye in the cosmos as well, inspiring self-love and nurturing. Speak up and be heard. And then heard comes up as very similar to heart. So of course I was guided to look it up. And the energy of herd is also HERD, which means the earth or the home, the letter P or the P that you eat, but also the page and bin exist, to be, and table data as well. To be heard means you're part of a group or a herd. You are the bottle, you are the shell, You are the instrument or vehicle with a message inside to bring at 12:52 to 53, the Queen of Swords and the Knight of Swords, bringing that message of light. The signs from Spirit with love. And the birds. And family happiness as well. Detach from the drama and look up with unconditional love, or with the King of Cups. See the birds fly in the sky and see the diamond light from the sun. I was just getting Lucy in the sky with diamonds. So see the birds fly in the sky, Lucy in the sky with diamonds. See the diamond light from the sun and take it in, perhaps 9 to 13 minutes in the morning. Wake with the birds and the sun and breathe. And notice that breathe is earth or heart or wreath with B. B and E as bookends. Be all, end all. As the hermit takes action to move, the salt air of the ocean is so cleansing for thee, where the land meets the sea, meets the sky, and I am. Where the fall leaves and winter ices, comes time to release, to reduce the swelling, to let go of control, and shiver, or be Shiva. The she of rain, I, me, he, and she, and the number 10 of that high vibration, along with Va, which means to go, or a way out, the forest passageway through. My, vain, for, he, to merge or deuce, to hear and understand, etc. So Shiva was coming up as I, me, he, she, rain, perhaps with a vain will and a way out of the forest passageway. The boat or the house, to wade in the water supply or sewage, to feel, give, hear, or understand, to bump into, merge, deuce, or wife, wind, flower, or bird. 10-4, message received. So Shiva is also she goes, she, he. She, 10 of the high vibration destiny, and he, the 4 of survival mode, letting go of the need for control, to meet in the middle at the 7th heaven of the crazy 8s, in the chaos of birth and transformation of dark and light, or birth and death, expanding the group without a fight. Sunrise, sunset, between full light and full dark, like the mid-moon is between the new and the full moons. Review the Akash to see new perspectives of higher realms and magic, the castle in a cloud, 9 perhaps, the message from the magic kingdom, of arches or arcs, bridges and overpasses, and the steeples of the clouds and castles, the Ashtar command in the Galactic Federation motherships, and Ganymede, and Pallas Athena, where Pallas is a palace, and Athena is at the mother, the meat, the happiness or joy, the peace of mind, the henna, the name, the cloth, the fabric. Atma, the mother, the fabric of our lives. The vineyard can go down, but the palace must stand and remain, which was so funny that this came up because the movie I watched last night, which I'd seen a long time ago, that was one of the things, like that the vineyard could go, but the place that she did her artwork had to stay. So the palace, or Pal as a mother of peace of mind, the mother ark, and the Milky Way. There is no other way to the castle but across the bridge, the ark, the mother who clears through emotion at 121, the magician embodiment and the world of completion. The evolution of the heart of the 40 of the Page of Cups, innocent and pure love of the heart, to go with the flow 1-to-1 across the moat if necessary to emotional joy with family at sunrise and sunset at 124, which is the magician and the Queen of Wands. A new dawn of the 4th density, of cleared paths, removing the dark from the valley of the shadow of death. Welcome back to high vibe, inner child. Go within to see what's weighing on you. What is heavy on you? What density are you feeling? With Atlas and the weight of the world. Hear and know me, mother and child, within. connected to dimensional gateway, invited to source via the golden gate or rainbow bridge, with 2 pillars or rod and staff, 2 flames or fire and light, and 2 wings of angels and shadow birds, to the Christ unity consciousness, the Son or the light of the Father, the love of the Mother, coming together in the magician embodiment of the twin flames. And I got a big connection right there at 128, which is the magician and the twins. At the 11th hour, and remember 11 is alignment, of the 12, right? So it's like the 11th hour right before midnight, the truth and balance of the 11, and therefore alignment, to hang out and be wise of the 12, which 12 is number 1 and number 2 of the masculine and the feminine, the 12, merging new perspectives from 2 different points of view, 2 sides of the same coin. My perspective is seeing you in me, and yours is seeing me in you. And how can that be? Well, remember the bookends of B and E with wreath in the middle, and just breathe. BREA is to buy, pitch the bread at he, or brie, which has a whole bunch of other meanings, including to be surprised at he, which of course causes breathing. So the underlying energy of clarifying who you are to untie the knots in the electromagnetic grid, or M God, of EMG, and the cooling down of your teens with message of love, sweet tweets, and movement or visit perhaps, and the cosmos mirroring you when you're self-loving. Detach and look up and let go. Fall into the northern lights. And the home and union. Meld and melt. 1 and 2 of the masculine and the feminine to become 1. Or 1 plus 2 is 3 of the abundant mother. Melting into each other, that melting pot, as opposed to competing and resistance. The sword with the water instead of the sword in the stone. The sword is with the water, with heart and emotion. The moon is with the air of mind and detachment. So bridge attachment and resistance at mid-moons and sunrise sunset, that you are the vessel of light and the message where the land meets the sea, meets the sky, meets your I am presence. Both light and dark in perpetual transformation at 146, the magician and the 2 children hugging and loving each other. The 13 and the 31 of the reflection of death and rebirth, the circular motion with circuit breakers. Remember that you are the vessel of light and the message, and that the energy spirals upward. So there's always a little bit of retrograde motion to come back and integrate what you've learned, and then you spiral up and up and up, but you never fall behind. So that was that message. And now I have a quick message of the day, and then I'll get into the read in front of you. So the message of the day was at 321 jump. And the underlying energy was the bear, the powers or tower, the temperance card reversed, and the family room. Perhaps the bear has been hibernating from exposing powers and towers, and now losing patience or losing their balance, or perhaps dealing with an empty family room, or losing patience waiting for the room to be completed. The beaver's hardworking, with the otter who may be curious, and the dear one who's looking in. The shark is protecting the little ones, but coming off as the mother bear. And this is so funny because it came up with my son last night as well, right? Those who come off like a shark, but they're actually just a big teddy bear at heart. So don't be intimidated by the shark, who is just protecting their little ones. The shark protecting their little ones, but coming off, and that can be their own little one if they don't have children, as the mother bear, and the Queen of Wands at home with the Page of Cups, with multiple faces of vulnerability, making cuts as the shadow polar bear nudges about coming together with the powers that be, or urging your discernment or filtering before exposing the power or returning to work. Leading the way with good news, suddenly or shocked as the King of Wands reversed and the Queen of Cups reversed may be losing their patience or losing patience, as the privileged lady with a message of concern from the wealthy man in transition, and the Emperor in courtship, hermiting changes with the King of Wands at the courthouse, or filing legal papers regarding a home or to complete a job. The first section here is the whale and the dragon, the whale feeling dragged under, and the fox leaving the hen house, perhaps healing and feeling better, but trapped at the present moment. The dragon and the snake and the chariot, the vehicle of infiltration, coming in to end the conflict, offering healing gifts to the one who's imprisoned. And that could be someone just sick as well. The second section here is the spider in the web, and the camel, who's a little bit blue but very independent. The spider in the web is taking a closer look. While bored and nothing else to do, might as well. Coming together with the Three of Cups and responding to a message. The camel is a loving man stuck with concerns of martyring themselves, and healing conflict with a message to the man with concerns. And the third section here being the mouse, the peacock, and the lizard, looking back. But the lizard is looking toward the vulture and the buffalo. The mouse may be anxious about a challenge or a mountain to climb, of dumping emotional attachments, or perhaps multiple loads, no longer confused or with brain fog, knowing what they have to do regarding union, adjudication, and or the home. And then at 403, which is the Emperor and the Empress, the peacock on a magic adventure to happy home of the false person or the person with the mask in order to dance. The lizard in energetic exchange and flow or not, and out in the cold or with a cold in despair about their journey. The vulture, King of Cups, with a time crunch issue and stressed out about the shadow lover and or the affections. And the buffalo with wise birds or groups or friends, and the Page of Cups with a message of love to the Queen of Wands thief or who's dealing with one. Getting rid of emotions that don't serve to find emotional fulfillment even when they're out in the cold, trying to end the nightmare with the Page of Cups, or perhaps a sweetheart, or that can be a pet as well. Anxious about the dance in court, or with a false person or the person with a mask, on the journey of despair, or the shadow lover, who may be a thief or may be connected to one, or perhaps you're just not sure and you don't trust them for some reason. The fourth section here is the bee, the bat, the scorpion, the wolf, the crocodile, and the moth. The bee is going back, the bat is lost in space, the scorpions with their stinger out, and the wolf is stunned by them, with the crocodile cutting off their nose to spite their face, and the moth to face that they're attracted to thieves, and the bee or the carpenter needing to reach out, the Queen of Cups crossing weak bridges or perhaps burning them out, with the Knight of Pentacles reversed, mature man or Taurus, and the bat, innocent romantic pup, implementing a plan regarding conflict or bad health perhaps. And the Scorpion, Knight of Wands, is committed to being set free by unexpected income or incoming. The wolf, loving lady with gifts, is dissatisfied or dumping on the Queen of Cups, making them do all the work. The crocodile with sudden event, stardom, or spontaneous healing, and now the King of Pentacles of high honor, with the Knight of Wands bringing good news. The moth is on a romantic journey to the Empress reversed, perhaps at the house, the big house, or the gated community, with the Knight of Pentacles reversed implementing a plan to be free and no longer alone. The King of Pentacles is upright with the Empress reversed, or at their mother's house, the mature man with bad health, inspired by income or incoming person, with the Queen of Cups working hard to honor their home, perhaps received her mother's home in inheritance. The fifth section is the lion gazelle, at peace with the collective awakening. Both the lion and the gazelle are very much at peace here. They're not triggered by anything. They can sit right in the middle of the lower energies and be fine. The lion with Two of Cups direction with the gazelle to leave the wounded warrior path in the downturn, and the gazelle coming up as the power man or twin, number 28, at night or with Cancer, becoming the main male. This is coming up like the lion is, they could be two male partners, or the lion's coming up as the feminine as well. The 423 is the Emperor and the King of Wands. So that right there is two men dealing with this as well, who are unfazed. The collective with breakthroughs about the choice of path or twins, and the Atlas ship with nowhere to land or dock. When things are slow at night, they will choose a path. And that could be the name Will was just coming up as well. And the wounded warrior's path of the main male at Atlas with burdens or responsibilities, unable to anchor down, with no water, no emotions or love. At 425, the Emperor and the Knight of Wands. And that's someone who just got demoted, right? We have the Emperor and the King of Wands just went down to the Emperor and the Knight of Wands. So the world is open to great fortune, just waiting to be had for the King of Cups child on his way out, or leaving, or headed back. And that was the message of the day. So now I'm going to go into the read on the table for the twin flames. And again, this is a general read, so not every message may resonate with you, which is fine. And so here we go. So we have the SIRIAN Starseed deck for the main deck here. And I cut the deck at 4 to 7, at 407. So those numbers, the sweet spots coming up is very significant today, because that came up with the 7 pounds too, right? The 0.4 to 0.7 pounds of the heart. But also the sweet spot in between 4 and 10 is 7. So the SIRIAN Starseed deck, the bottom of the deck too, there's the 2 of crystals with the mini cards on top. We'll get to that in a minute. But at 418, action came up. So whatever EC or ECT may be to you, and then ION is connection. And then TION also, let me just look that up real quick because I know that has a meaning. Hold on. Okay, so the TION is a cross between a male tiger and a lioness, which is interesting that that lion just came up. And it's also to point a weapon at or aim, and that along with the EC. And EC is actually my maiden name initial, so that could reference the Divine Feminine. The Divine Feminine, a cross between male tiger and lioness, and the feminine perhaps pointing a weapon at or to aim. Very interesting there. And that was at 418. Again, the Emperor and the Moon of the 18, but we just talked about the 18 being the ice pack, needed to cool things down. And action is also election without the L. So I finished clarifying this read at 433, which is the 4 of the Emperor, the 33 of the Christ vibration, the 7 of Wands, standing up for oneself without being triggered. And then we have the higher self as the major arcana, along with reflection, which is the Hermit. And before the read, karma came up, which is the Judgment card. And after the read, the Lovers came up, along with the 9 of Pentacles, which is the Sovereign. The 4 Pentacles, 1 Wand, 3 Cups, and 1 Sword. So a lot of Pentacles and Cups coming up here. Time, money, and effort, and heart-based emotions. And 41 and 31, which is the Ace of Cups, and then the 5 of Wands. Offering love to a group, perhaps, or those fighting or dealing with conflict, and then intervening with an offer of love. We have the Knight of Cups, the Page of Cups, and the King of Pentacles here. Before the read is the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles, so we have 3 Knights here again. And then after the read, we have the Queen of Cups and the 9 of Pentacles, the Sovereign energy. And today is the 28th, so it's the 28th, 9th, and 30th, so we end up at New Year's Eve, which is the 11th hour before the new year. So the 31st may be very significant this year. We have 22 of the Fool's Journey, of an open heart, taking a leap of faith, and triple 4s today, which is the angelic realms. And it's very much about the 4s of that box and the ice cube and the cubits and the Emperor, of letting go of control. Because remember, 3 4s equals 12, which is wisdom, the Hanging Man. So we have the 45 of the 5 of Cups, and the 10 was very significant, of the Wheel of Fortune and Destiny, a turn for the better perhaps. And we also had 24 of the Queen of Wands, the 56 of the 2 of Swords, and then 6, 7, 8, 9 just in time. And 9, 10 begin again and again and again. So every time you expand outward, Remember to come back to center again to rebalance again. Again, to the 0 point, to the present moment, to your heart. The code line was all about domestic harmony and was broken up into Demes and Tick and Harmo and New York. So something about New York coming up here for sure. And also domestic, right, which is domestic flights were just coming up. But also, you know, a lot of international flights go out of New York. So that could be coming up for New York as well. But it's like the home of the United States because everyone around the world knows about New York. So that could be coming up as well. The number 10 came up on the code line, which again is that destiny in the wheel of fortune, a turn for the better, that high vibration of the trill. It's also computer code. And the messages came up as follows. Aspirin was coming up yesterday too, ASA, which is interesting because I don't usually take aspirin and Motrin at all anymore. It's very rare. And I ended up, since aspirin came up, I took some baby aspirin yesterday just to make sure. So that may be coming up for you as well. But aspirin came up, and that night, or good night, we just talked about 3 nights coming up to the New Year's Eve, and the after-death test, right, because the death is the end of 2021. The after-death test, or AID and PT, so PT can be physical therapy, but also could be part-time work, the higher self and heaven on earth that you are. And aspirin is like, you know, it thins the blood. It helps it flow better. So that can be a reference to that as well. Right? It's like the IV when it comes up, the IV flow. The aspirin helps break up anything that might be stuck, you know, a little bit of flow. So the aspirin or that flow energy of that good night or after death test or AID and PT of the higher self and heaven on earth that you are. Also the one of the night, the higher self and high vibration, purging or being Christ-like, the clock tower or standing on the edge, hanging out of time and space, or stony slope of loose or fallen rocks, in the drizzling in rain, the cold breeze, something ominous that feels like a message of something coming, perhaps a bison, tumor, wife, or juice. Counsel, judgment, sentence, or a guest comes up, as well as to shoot in the head came up as one of the definitions. And that came up in my read yesterday, the day before. Not yesterday, because I didn't do it yesterday. But literally, I was getting like a rock to the head. I said that in the last read, I believe. And here, a shoot to the head was coming up, or that it feels like that. To bend in a threshold, an arch without direction, yet not a circle to come back around, with multiple angles to create a prism of light or a prison of dark. The weasel or moth or office of judge. Purity of the white cloak with dark spots. So this was coming up as like a tainted judge. And that was coming up around New York as well. A habitat, which is a home, a place of somebody's dwelling. The habitat of domes, mostly pure or of light, but with spots of dark in it. And so New York was coming up as that. Well, obviously there's dark in New York. But it's coming up as mostly white and pure, but there are some dark spots that need to be dealt with. Ebony and ivory. Involuntary sentence. A habit or tickling the ivories here. We're all coming up. Habitual habitat or New York judge. And then when I looked up what was going on with New York and judges right now, Joe Judge came up as the meek giants lose to the Eagles, and also a judge blasts the New York Times regarding group rights to keep their legal memos private, outweighing the concerns about freedom of the press. And they were ordered to return those memos. Also, inmate leaders used their power to force detainees to fight each other for their amusement while officers did nothing in prison. So this was the prison leaders were overpowering the staff at Rikers Island. The one detainee was complaining there was no bed for 3 days, where the rule they have to have a place to sleep within 24 hours. There was no bed for 3 days for 15 people who were together, and the camera was covered by a towel for 2 hours, which they said no way should they have not caught that for 2 hours. And next, the intake area barely were fed with cereal and jelly, and had to beg the leaders or the inmates to use the phone. That had nothing to do with the guards. He was given food and cigarettes by the guards, not the guards, by the prisoners for his efforts in fighting at 537, which is the Hierophant and the 37 of the King of Cups. So you understand how insane this is. Remember, our prisoners they have rights too. They are human beings. So we have an intentional surge here, an after-death test of the higher self for heaven on earth, or abundant family, business, or community that you all are. 1. Domestic harmony, the habitat of the dome, or place likely to live. New York, harming humans, and then making a lot of noise at night. The higher self with the 10 of Pentacles, family, business, or community on the edge. Domestic harmony in New York, broken. So there's obviously some issues in New York that need to be worked out. And obviously the noise and the pollution are not good for humans. So you guys know that. But it was coming up for a reason here. Making a lot of noise. Domestic harmony in New York, broken. Mostly light energy with a few dark spots there, or judges ruling and their white cloak may be dirty. And again, I was getting like, instead of I love New York, there was no heart there. The heart was broken, and that was at 5:55 when I wrote that. So a lot of changes going on. 5:53 to 4, New York with Twisted Sisters was coming up from me. Twisted Sisters in separation, the Statue of Liberty of New York and Washington, and the 2 of Pentacles upright. As we start the read, with the Knight of Wands reversed, paralyzed in unstable home, standing up to pour judgment or rising above the drama, or immovable judge or unable to function, or stubborn mule, juggling, performing, or the daily news, surrendering to all that is to start over, with a falling out in the past, or that can be the post, with the Queen of Swords reversed, receiving new passionate offer of bliss, now that the worst is over, of imbalance, of not sharing or inequity, of the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Wands both reversed here in a standoff, with the 10 of Cups reversed, unhappy family, connected to bad influences or overindulging, or unhappy about gossip, social distancing, or third party pushed over the edge. Or the bad influences making the 10 of Cups reversed, family unhappy, around the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Cups reversed, kids imbalanced in bliss, offering passion, growth, and creativity to anyone who will pay attention to them, at 6:16, which is the Lovers and the Tower. So again, teens came up. So this is, obviously teens wanting attention, maybe teens not getting their parents' attention, and then looking for any which way to find some attention. The Queen of Pentacles is upright here with synchronicities and choices and heaven in their eyes. With the 4 of Pentacles upright, Scroogey, King of Swords, who may be coming off as militant or reaping rewards of daydreaming about a connection and surrender to all that is. With clarity or new information of instability of the Queen of Wands reversed, defending themselves to the 10 of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community with dysfunction or loss. And the Queen of Pentacles upright, perhaps gambling on the Divine Masculine's heart in the Crystal Batcave, and the King of Swords daydreaming of connecting. The King of Swords may be the constant gardener or militant with 10 channels on, tracking leaves with snakeskin boots, which is funny because I just told you I was watching the people next door take all their leaves and dump it across the street. The King of Swords constant gardener or militant with 10 channels on, tracking leaves with snakeskin boots, or lizard in ski boots trying to keep their head above water, or their head is in the clouds, or the King of Swords and the constant gardener, or the Divine Masculine's heart and the Divine Feminine's heart connecting in surrender, but with the King of Swords between them. Military and or police or old war vet stuck in that mindset, in a downturn or retro or slowdown, not time or slow death, or taking forever with streetcar named desire, or working to align without stepping on toes. And again, this is the energy of not acting on your sexual desires was coming up as learning to control what's best for you, right? Not acting just on your desires, but what do you love? What is it that you really want to connect with? And is it just that sexual desire and holding back to actually get to know someone first? So that was a big energy coming up for the masculine. With Libra reverse, Scorpio reverse, and Pisces reverse here, or a secret passion and a mess to clean up, or a hook to remove. The dark horse is down, or sick, or kids are, with children affecting your love life, and healing family issues here. The Seven of Pentacles, karmic tie, or perhaps having sex in the chair, as fantasy disappears with the Queen of Pentacles releasing the family mirror of unhappiness or lack of emotional fulfillment, ending a cycle overdue at night, with the moon or a sad romance of double dating and being the fifth wheel, or just different than the drinking mountain dwellers. The lobster found their pearl, but she may no longer have them, letting dissatisfied family come between them after holding on to luxuries of Taurus, or that energy, of wealthy dysfunctional family, but perhaps it's like the stability is fine, abundantly, but there's emotional dysfunction in the family here. Having to beg or kiss their feet, or someone likes toes here, or a Queen of Pentacles is unhappy after a mastectomy or after implants or a lift, or just not interested in men altogether, or just had enough. With the Ten of Pentacles reversed and the Ten of Cups reversed, which is like the Montagues and the Capulets, all unhappy, or that can be the immediate family and the extended family, at 6:45, which is the Lovers and the 45 of purging, right? Needing to let go of the past, of guilt and shame, of loss and regret. And the Queen of Pentacles, perhaps with a moneymaker or savings, but the Ten of Pentacles reversed and the Ten of Cups reversed, families are crumbling. And that can be businesses as well. And that could be, governments and worlds are coming crumbling down. So it's 6:45, which is again that Five of Cups and the Lovers. The Knight of Pentacles reversed in surrender to the Two of Cups, secret passion at night, or Pisces reversed and Cancer reversed, in following your dreams of the 85, which is the reflection of 58, or in other words, grounding the physical union, and self-love beneath that, taking a risk to love yourself first, grounding into physical union. Night or night shift, or the King of Wands reversed and the Knight of Cups reversed at night, with the Queen of Pentacles and the Emperor by day. And this could be someone's alter ego, right? So this could be two people who behave as the Knight of Wands and Knight of Cups reversed at night, right? That could be teenagers out on the prowl, but during the day they act like the Queen of Pentacles and the Emperor, and very responsible. And these could be partners at work who drink or do drugs at night, that anything like that. Or maybe they're just depressed at night, or maybe they're paralyzed by their passions or by their heart at night, or jealous, or like to go out and have one night stands at night. Anyway, that's coming up. Overworked, the Knight of Cups reversed may be jealous or rejected, and the Queen of Pentacles with the Emperor walking away and praying for their lover, leaving behind the mess in the yard and praying for the dark birds to go away so that they can refocus on the Two of Cups, divine lover. With Aries upright and Gemini upright, or control and chaos, twins surrender to connect one-to-one with secret passion at night, or Pisces and Virgo both reversed, perhaps Libra reversed in the background, with Cancer upright following their dreams and or grounding their union at 6:57, the Lovers and the separation. The underlying energy is the energy of unhappiness, of being alone or with self, or not feeling well, perhaps weak or sick, trying to end the nightmare of issues at work, with the King of Wands reversed at night, or Cancer. At 7 o'clock on the dot, which is a lot of source energy backing up the 7 of the Chariot, which is the feminine within the masculine, the vehicle of ascension and or infiltrating, or Leo, King of Wands reversed with Cancer and weak, or unable to work nights. The Dark Knight, King of Wands reversed, may be feeling trapped or anxious about overwork, or not working out, or not feeling well, or unhappy alone. Or Scorpio may be sick or mad, feeling trapped in overtime, or dissatisfied with the Page of Wands, who's inspired by one who has their back, or the King of Pentacles with no peace, defensive and yet inspired all at the same time. The juggling or performing or doing the daily at work, resting and then back on the road, perhaps feeling it's unfair at night, perhaps working a second job. With the Lobster up in arms, who let the dogs out? So this is like someone who's nonstop and then the kids can't even do what they're supposed to do, like taking the dogs out for a walk, or that could be a partner as well. Or doing a little work here and then taking this show, or this could be doing meditation work and then taking the show on the road, wanting to step down from their position at night, or dealing with Cancer ×2 and it's unfair, or unable to be two places at once. With the recent past being the Two of Cups upright, the intense connection present at night in a heated exchange of the Sovereign and the Knight of Swords patient angel, but without peace, with no calls. Star or Aquarius is taking off without calling or answering a wake-up call, not sharing with the Knight of Wands reversed and the Emperor upright, or that the Knight of Wands fell short and the Emperor is starting over with surrendering to the Two of Cups lovers connection. At 7:16, which is the Chariot and the Tower, the foundation is the Knight of Cups reversed, feeling rejected, moody, jealous, or insincere. At the workplace, perhaps their hands are tied, or with hostage, Queen of Cups reversed, Hermit reversed, with Taurus, religion, establishment, or marriage, and the Queen of Cups reversed going crazy, or with mental disease, or coming out, or with a parent who has dementia, or Taurus upright with Virgo in their chart. And the Knight of Cups and the Queen of Cups both reversed here, stuck working together, perhaps both with Virgo in their chart, or around an abusive or creepy religious leader as children. And this could be from the past as well. The central energy here is the Five of Wands, that energy in the middle of the read of the Five of Wands, conflict or competition or expansion of the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups reversed. The King of Pentacles upright, though, him receiving resistance regarding a love offer with Scorpio reversed and Aquarius upright, and the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community, perhaps with dysfunction or loss, which was interesting. My son actually had to go back. He was supposed to go back today, back home to work, but the game got canceled on Wednesday that he had to attend. So because there was, they shut down some stuff at school because of the people being sick. So that could be coming up for people as well. But dealing with family, business, or community or institutional dysfunction or loss, and recovering two members perhaps, or letting them back in. And the challenge being the higher self reversed with Pisces or Virgo, Aquarius, without intuition or doesn't use their intuition or know how, or a secret passion, and the Page of Cups handed the truth or served or schooled to get over it in connection with the King of Cups, unconditional love, and awakening to new information that's causing them to walk away from the Page of Cups. Perhaps lovers strong or strong-arming the Boar in need of sunshine or full disclosure about their dream girl. Pisces, divine feminine, or to come full circle with Pisces or divine feminine fantasy or synchronicities, and wanting to go out to eat with patient angel or Sagittarius, or just to be patient and see how it goes with the Knight of Swords, messenger of truth, and the King of Cups, unconditional love, deep in thought and wanting to rush in with the truth or make demands after a sudden event or findings, an epiphany, or wanting to avoid disaster in the end, needing to heed the call and wake up to past failings in relationships and or childhood here. And now crowning is the Four of Pentacles, the divine masculine's heart in the crystal Batcave, seeing multiple options, synchronicities, and standing up for themselves, tempted by the Holy Grail of heaven in their eyes, and detoxing lover all at the same time. Unable to function or not feeling well or not working and feeling lazy with big love at work with the Knight of Swords upright and the King of Wands reversed. Perhaps one is driven and one is falling short. The Queen of Wands reversed, healing heart, driving them crazy, or unable to stop self from temptation waving, or Cancer upright, Capricorn upright in a united front at 740, which is the Chariot and the Page of Cups. A big love, and this could be dealing with relationships issue and breaking patterns of the way you've dealt with relationships in the past. So big love of the Knight of Swords upright and the Knight of Wands reversed, and getting off the fence to come clean about no peace with the Queen of Wands reversed with new passion. And the Page of Pentacles inviting the enemy or facing their fears with the Divine Feminine or Pisces or world at large in the Wounded Warrior's surrender and playing either withholding or playing hardball with the Emperor here, which also has to do with just control in general. The Student of the World surrendering to the magnetism of the Emperor. The King of Cups with Scorpio reversed and Aquarius reversed in a falling out or unsure about their past, or childhood issues, or kids with issues. And soon as the Four of Swords on break, resting, contemplating life, the Page of Cups and the King of Cups may be over it and holding on to the injustice of an unstable house or home, a move or visit. So that can be a father and child dealing with their issues with each other, but also can deal with one person being more mature than the other one in a relationship and needing to verbalize that. Maybe just getting to know someone and maybe they're not ready for you and you need them to grow up in order to be someone that you'd actually think about wanting to stay with. Move, visit, or dealing with a marriage or differences in maturity levels with crazy kids, pets, or Leo, or sick, and in need of sunshine and or vacation, with the Queen of Pentacles upright and the King of Swords upright, stepping it up with the Sovereign, Divine Feminine, or Pisces world under the radar or feeling under the weather, but okay. With Libra, Leo up reversed and then Pisces upright here, or family all resting and getting over colds or holiday overindulging. At 7:51, which is the Chariot and the King of Swords, the twin flames seeing themselves as that Page of Cups, that innocent, pure love, with the Page of Wands who's inspired to dump a load under the radar or dump their responsibilities in need of attention, with the Empress upright coming clean or cleaning up and purging or not sleeping well. This could be a mother taking care of a sick child and now they're starting to feel better as well, or performing or juggling daily with lover or twin being offered a choice of path or an ultimatum perhaps. The Page of Cups and Page of Wands are both upright here, and lovers, puppy love perhaps, and to make an effort. But there could be deception, which can just be not showing your full self. Keep an open mind and new love. Around the twins or how they're seen is the King of Pentacles, happy in the pursuit of happiness, getting off the fence, or setting themselves free, as Taurus, Aries, Gemini, and twins here, of water and earth. The block being the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community, of the King of Pentacles and dysfunctional family with the Page of Swords upright, stepping up, swinging here and there, and the King of Swords upright. And then the King of Wands reversed with the big truth, cutting them all off if they don't step it up. Domestic harmony, even more so here, is healing. In an all-business relationship and standing up to the unwanted advances and using children as a manipulation tool. With the Hermit reverse going crazy or coming out, one with Virgo in their chart reaping rewards of unworthiness perhaps, or insecure and without tools, in a 5D connection and or on break, with Gemini, Virgo, Scorpio, and Aquarius all reversed right there. At 8 o'clock on the nose was double zeros or a lot of source energy backing up the 8 of the dance, strength, inner and outer, and the manifestation of dreams. The Hermit reversed and the Emperor upright, which can be, grown son taking care of an ill parent, but it can also be Virgo reversed and Aries upright. But the Hermit reversed with Emperor upright, and that could be the Hermit coming out to the Emperor with a new passion, working to align with lovers, and the Queen of Cups reversed sovereign, but without peace or without a peaceful place to stay, and being strong, or taming the beast. At 8:01, the Dance and the Magician. Surrender of the Knight of Cups reversed to the Page of Cups upright, and the King of Pentacles upright in partnership or connection with the group. Challenged by new passion with 5D Connect, or on break with the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community with dysfunction or loss, or just tired after the holidays, with the Divine Masculine's heart coming out, working to align with Lover, Queen of Cups reversed, Sovereign, but without peace, and taming the beast. The Knight of Wands reversed, from an unstable home, rising above the drama, but needing to hear the calling of the Knight of Pentacles reversed, surrender to all that is. With Two of Cups lovers and the ultimate connection, the Knight of Cups reversed and the Five of Wands upright, or jealousy within the group and challenged by secret passion. The Divine Masculine's heart and the Page of Cups, very innocent and vulnerable. In the 5D connection, or on break and resting, the King of Pentacles is upright with the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community, and the Hermit losing their mind or coming out, working to align with their lover, the Queen of Cups reversed, emotional, completing sovereignty, or with an independent child, but no peaceful place to go at 8:08, the dance of the crazy eights. And there was your read. So I'm going to pull a few oracles here, see what comes up for you. Let's see what the animal spirit cards have for you guys. It's 3:40 on the clock, which is at 3 and 4 of the Empress and the Emperor again, with source energy backing it up of the 7 ultimately. And that's the circle and the square of the 7 as well. And it was just 12626 here, which is the Magician and the Page of Wands times 2. 2 very inspired to Magician embodiment. And so what is our takeaway from the read today? We have the nightingale, the songbird, clearing the air, speaking their truth. And the bee, who's been working very hard, right? Keeping their little body up with those little wings. And it's also being hard work to back them up. Trying to step up to the plate. But they're very well balanced, right? They're hard workers. It's just in different energies. These are like in the mid-body energies of the solar plexus and the heart and the throat, whereas this is much lighter, compassionate energy of the songbird in that pure white energy of the pastels and the upper chakras here. And then we have the whale who's exhausted, and that can be someone who's older, but it can just be feeling exhausted, weighed back down by this dark emotional energy. And then the dolphin who's really happy and spry and in their compassion and very clear, right? They don't get affected by anything. So why is that? Why is the whale being pulled down in the dark, and why is the dolphin free and clear? And then we have the hummingbird here too. So the birds are out clearing the air, clearing with their wings and with their voice and their song, clearing the air, and the birds can reference feminines as well. And then we have the bottom of the deck of the hawk clearing the air. So there's a lot of clearing going on here, clearing the air, using their wings and their voice to clear the air. Let's see what's underneath there. And there's the hyena, right, who's may have their tail between their legs, walking away for being sneaky and making fun of other people, perhaps, slinking away. So the hawk came through to clear the air. It was just funny because I took a picture of a flock of birds flying overhead. They came out pretty cool this morning. So again, these are the cards that came out. And this is just feeling exhausted, doing the work, like clearing the way for the other little ones to come out with their stuff. And yet the dolphin is very clear here, and so is the hummingbird. So that you see the hummingbird just naturally, wherever they go, their wings clear the air. And the dolphin isn't even in any dark energy. There's no dark energy around them at all. You see it in the corners here, but they have a big aura of compassion there. So showing you how much compassion protects you. Like this is a lot of hard work to flap your wings, but the dolphin is just rolling along because they're in compassion energy that helps them keep clear. So if you're feeling very weighed down like this, go into your compassion energy of the dolphin to lift you back up again, to protect your energy. And the bee is very much in good energy as well. Okay. Birds. And we have the two birds, the nightingale songbird and the hummingbird. One uses their wings and one uses their voice. And with the whale and the dolphin, one uses their wisdom and one uses their friendliness. And the bee is just a very hard worker. It's just showing you there's all different variations of how you can clear the way, of how the different humans need to clear their way, because everyone's got different abilities and different personalities. So it's kind of showing you all the different ways you can clear and who's getting weighed down and not, and why, perhaps. I want to pull from the energy deck for you guys too. Let's see what comes up from the energy deck. Okay, we have Angel of Strength, and there was the feminine coming up as Tigress, Lioness energy there. The Angel of Strength, the 50 is the 10 of Cups, emotional fulfillment, family fulfillment, in being strong. And they go together very well. The second chakra, Archangel Ariel, so that's that creative energy of the 36, the Atlas, the weight of the world. This is very much mother and daughter energy too, but very angelic. And then we have the cornucopia of appreciation, of giving thanks, like Thanksgiving every day, with the 11 here of justice and alignment, of truth and balance, and the energy of mother and child with so much abundance here. It's very golden energy here, like the golden child, the golden. Why is it so, people could be saying, why is it so easy for them? And then we have, again, blossoming abundance. Look at that. Why is it so easy for them? And this is the masculine saying that, the magician in the mirror. Like, you remember in the beginning of the feminine, when the feminines were first awakening, there, why is it so easy for him? Because he's going out partying, sleeping around, doing whatever he wants to. And now that the feminines come full circle into her empowerment of all this abundance, now the masculine is waking up saying, why is it so easy for them? And I have to deal with all this. At the 53 is the Knight of Swords, the magician in the mirror. So it's like that energy of coming full circle. But it's the empowerment of the feminine, young and old. There's a lot of abundance with the Empress and Justice of truth and balance. And then the Knight of Swords becoming the masculine, the magician in the mirror. Or even the magician embodiment of the feminine. The bottom of the deck is the community of coming together. So again, it's all about the feminine here, the 7, the vehicle of ascension. And then, right, freeing themselves when needed. The 27 of the Ace of Wands, that third energy of walking away when you're inspired. Walking away from the group when it's no longer resonating for you. Right? Because not everybody's the same. So it's saying here too, like, look how different all these energies are. Maybe they all belong to different groups. Maybe they're leaders that need to go out and find their own group that they match. And that changes. So like one group that you got into because it really resonated with you, maybe you've been hanging out with them for a year or two, and maybe that group doesn't match you anymore. So it's about then separating off into the new group, because your job is to help others come into the collective awakening too. So it's about kind of like musical chairs, where you don't stay at the same chair the whole time. And so let's see what comes up with the journey of love as well. The whole deck is falling apart here. I just caught the Lovers there. Here we go. Devotion to the small. 32 is the journey. And again, it's about the vulnerable, the children, your inner child, those who can't do for themselves, and the journey of being devoted to the small. And that has to do with nature as well. Man of the earth, woman of the sky, the 48 of walking away and within when needed. And it's like the winter time, you know, when the plants don't grow anymore, and the care that's needed to take care of them. It was interesting too, because I brought flowers inside this winter that I wouldn't normally I wouldn't have. I would have just let them outside, and they were annuals, but they're still alive. Man of the earth, woman of the sky, walking away within on the journey into the void. So you see in that picture, it looks like all the women are laying their hair down to connect for the divine for the divine masculine. Instead of like laying your life down on the line, it's like they're all laying their hair down to line the vortex for that strong connection on the journey. Devotion to the small. And then the void, which is that Page of Cups. 40 is Page of Cups. That's that innocence, the void, the innocence of the void. It's like finding that purity within you and nurturing it. And then dropping into your heart. The bottom of the deck is the Pearl Threaded. Again, what connects us all? Who do we resonate with? Whose pearl do we connect with? The 38 of the Queen of Cups. Remember, the pearl comes from the bacteria that got into the clamor of the oyster and created that beautiful pearl. So we all can connect through our experiences that we've all shared that are similar to others. And there's that Shakti of the masculine and feminine together. So it's very feminine warrior energy, but it's also the masculine of the 19 and the sun. And Shakti's coming up with Shiva. And the Pearl Threaded with the Queen of Cups. The communal dance. I'm also getting like the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Cups here. Like the warrior within you and the loving, kind, intuitive within you. But also finding your community, because we have the communal dance beneath that one. Okay? The ancient ones of the 52, which is the Queen of Swords. So we have three queens. This didn't come up as the Queen of Wands, but that's what I was getting with this energy. So the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Swords all coming up together. So we had 3 knights and 3 queens, and towering magnificence here in the communal dance of coming together. So let's read what they have to say for you. The first card out was the Nightingale. The nightingale is fearless voice, speech, communication, or song. The song of the nightingale is otherworldly. The simple brown bird, almost unnoticeable amongst the flashy plumage of the other birds, transports its listener to the realm of poetry. The nightingale energy is with us when we write, compose, and especially when we sing. It reminds us that music heals the deepest wounds. This card indicates a need to open the bridge between the heart and the voice. Is there something you need to say? How long has it been since you sang? Turn it up, write it down, and let it out. When in balance, sings, speaks, and freely with kindness. But when they're out of balance, they may be shy and have a lump in their throat. To bring back into balance, music. So you're being called into music here. And also the journey of love, which is devotion to the small, 32. Devotion to the small, and the Christ flame was just before this. She bows. She honors growth. She sees that within the smallest flower there is the teaching of the earth, the gospel of Gaia, the mystery of life demonstrated. She recognizes that she too is of nature, subject to the mysteries of growth and life, that in honoring nature, in taking pleasure in life, she opens her heart to allow great creation to happen through her. This is the feminine wisdom, alive in men and women with open hearts. There's an innate wisdom within you that understands this devotion to the Earth Mother as an important step in fulfilling your spiritual destiny on this planet. She's speaking to you now, letting you know there's a small change happening, something that is growing within you that you may recognize but not think is so important, yet she tells you now that it's very significant. And soon you will see what you thought was a seed to yield a single flower is actually blossoming into a lush garden of manifestation. Gratitude and love for the small changes happening are leading you into fullness that you can only dream of, so enjoy. The message of this oracle for you is that your blossoming is occurring now, and the Earth Mother has gratitude for your presence within her being, for the work you are doing to help other human beings. She asks for you to surrender any concern you have to her, to let her creative power continue to gently guide you into your rightful place in the world, that you may shine as you were born to do, in service to the evolution of this planet. She is helping you now. Trust her. A flower is a poem that tells you the truth of a thought, and the fragrance of a dream, as fleeting as a heartbeat, as lasting as a memory. And the next page is God Speaks. Okay, so make sure you get plenty of water and rest. Maybe drink your water first in the morning and wait on the caffeine, as we talked about earlier. But make sure to get your joy in your nature and follow your bliss and sing. And just do what you want to do. You're always the last word on what's best for you. And so rise and be love. Make sure to breathe. Rise and be love, you guys. I'll see you soon.